Hello everyone. Thank you for coming up today. My old subscribers, thank you. And to those that are viewing for the first time or that have not subscribed, please click on the subscribe button and the notification bell so you get notified each time we upload a new video. And to my new subscribers, thank you for subscribing. Please do not forget to hit on the like button. As we all know that the late Prophet TB Joshua was laid to rest in his church yesterday, Friday. But at the same time, a lot of rumors and things have been making rounds with regards to other big churches whom their overseers never attended. And right now, it's said that reasons why the Nigerian pastors and ministers hated Prophet TB Joshua even unto his death. The senior pastor of Awaiting the Second Coming of Christ ministry, that Pastor Adewale Giwa, has provided insights and reasons as to why top pastors in Nigeria never liked senior prophet of the Synagogue Church of All Nations, Temitope Balogun Joshua, as his well-known Prophet TB Joshua, who died on the 5th of June 2021, and he was laid to rest in his church on Friday. The funeral service saw the presence of top politicians, entertainers, businessmen, and women from all over the world. In that particular congregation, if we look critically, they had focused on some of the prominent people that were there, even the likes of the governor of Ondo State. So many prominent people around the globe were present. But most of the big churches in Nigeria, their general overseer were not present at all. A lot of people watched out to see if one, at least from one of the big churches, would be present. However, top men of God in the country totally shunned the funeral service, the same way none of them even condoled with his family or with his church when he passed. Well, they said sometimes in life, if you have an issue with somebody, there are two things that will make you withdraw back and even try to make a little bit of move to ensure that there is peace, even if it's slightly, no matter how slightly it is. And these are two reasons. They said, if you're having dispute with somebody and the person passed away, you should condole with the family member, even if you were not in talking terms. Secondly, if you're not in talking terms with someone and the person gives birth to a child, you should congratulate that person. If you're not in talking terms with someone and the person gets married, you should congratulate that person. These are things that they said, put your differences aside and then show a little bit of love, even if you don't love that person. But for these things, say something, congratulations, or sympathize with the family. But it was so unfortunate that none of the general overseers even condoled with the family. At least, even if they would not want to attend the funeral, they should even have sent some condolences to the family, because all through the time after he passed, it's been making rounds in the news. None of the overseers even sent condolences. Obviously, you know that if any of them had sent condolences, it would have been on the news or in the papers, but that did not happen. But in a statement to Daily Post on Saturday, that's today, Pastor Giwa suggested that these pastors may have hated Prophet TB Joshua because he refused to join their league. When Prophet TB Joshua was alive, he was surrounded with more friends than enemies. Even in his death, the prophet still had more friends than enemies. Those celebrating him after death are more than those who are criticizing him. He had come, seen, and conquered. He had the money to buy more than 10 private jets, but he never bought one. Prophet TB Joshua could afford to build private universities across Nigeria and the world, but he did not have even one. They hated him because he refused to join their caucus or leagues. Maybe if he had succumbed and did what they wanted him to do, they would have honored him as one of them. This is what Pastor Giwa is actually saying. He said that a man who never had a spiritual father but suddenly rose to fame, and he never thought of opening another branch of his church in America, London, or anywhere in the world aside from the one he had in Ikotun Egbe in Lagos, Nigeria. Prophet TB Joshua had a humble and submissive heart. Everybody knows about this. A lot of people, despite the fact you still have people that criticized Prophet TB Joshua, but come to think of it, among all of these general overseers, Prophet TB Joshua is one of the most humble, richest pastor amongst all of them. He is very rich, even more rich than most of the big pastors in Nigeria. Yet you never saw this guy living a flamboyant life. Even the way he dressed is very simple. Meanwhile, he had more foreigners in his church than any other church in Nigeria. All around the globe came to Prophet TB Joshua's church. This man, he had millions to even buy jets, have different schools around the world, do whatever he wanted to do. But he never did that. Instead, what did he do? He stretched out his arms to give to the poor, to help many as much as he could. People are actually criticizing him, but the critics are even less than those that are even praising him right now. Not praising him as God, but praising his good deeds. The man went extra mile to express the act of true Christianity. He never did like every other person you would expect, that the person is rich, he should show off, he should build this, he should have that. No. And funny enough, he had only one branch. That was that branch at Ikotun. Prophet TB Joshua never decided to start building churches around the world and said, okay, instead of those people traveling, coming down to Nigeria and to worship in his church, let him have branches so they could have access to the churches in their country. He never did that, despite the fact that he had the money to do it. Prophet TB Joshua left a very good legacy behind that other prophets and pastors should actually emulate. And this was the words that Prophet Giwa left behind. He said this: God doesn't look at the outward appearance, but looks at the heart. No matter how powerful and strong you are, death is inevitable. If God is for you, who can be against you? The media only cares about the so-called two men of God who didn't see their greetings or attend the burial ceremony. Even the Jews, up till now, still don't believe in Jesus Christ. Also in Nazareth, where Jesus grew up, they refused to believe in his teaching because they considered him one of them, therefore without the authority to preach to them. Are you God who sees the innermost thoughts, feelings, or secrets of others? First, take the plank out of your own eye, and then you will see clearly to remove the speck from your brother's eye. Whatever you have here on earth won't go with you after death. We came with nothing, and we go with nothing. This is what the pastor had to say. These were his last words he left behind. And I know that so many people had so many things to say, even after the pastor had left these last messages. People still lashed back at him. Some people supported what he said, and some people are like, which pastor in Nigeria uses the power of God? These are different comments that people are making. Well, definitely you would always have people make comments. Well, the truth is this: in all of this, only God still knows those who are his, who are truly serving him in truth and in spirit. But it was just too obvious that none of the general overseers in the big churches in Nigeria actually attended, because they had to mention prominent people that were present at the late Prophet TB Joshua's funeral and laying him to rest. Well, the truth is, he has come to the surface of the earth and done what God has called him to do, and he has gone. Everybody must leave this earth one day. Nobody will be left behind forever. And irrespective of what you have, what you've acquired, you won't go with it. And so if people feel that they have it all, they act like they own the world, or they act like they would live here forever, they should not forget that death is inevitable. We all as human beings will pass away, but how and when is what we can never tell. Only the Almighty God can say that. And what Prophet Giwa is actually saying in conclusion is this. He is saying that if only Prophet TB Joshua lived like other pastors or general overseers, or if he had joined their league, that they would have attended his funeral, like having to buy jets, having to build schools, being around their own inner caucus, that they would have been present. But all of that never happened because Prophet TB Joshua lived his own life separately. He didn't like mingle with them and mingle with whatever they were actually doing. That is what Pastor Giwa is also concluding right now. And he is saying that Prophet TB Joshua had more friends than enemies, even until death. And he's also saying that Prophet TB Joshua appears to be one of the richest pastors in Nigeria, if not the richest amongst all of them. But yet he lived a very humble and simple life, which a lot of people can testify to that. Prophet TB Joshua, very, very humble man. And if you notice that he started very little, it was not like he started like a very big church all of a sudden blew. It was a gradual thing. A lot of people watched him while he grew. He started a very small congregation like that when he was carrying out deliverances in church, and he made his deliverance open. He televised it, and gradually that was how his church started growing, and it grew to a point that he had more international and foreign people coming through his church, even spending nights there sleeping. He had lots of places for them to lodge and all, and he even had places for people that had nothing, people that had nowhere to stay. He had places for all of them. He still fed them, gave them clothing, did a lot, sponsored a lot of people, and so many people have missed him because of all of that. His hands, which he has stretched out a lot to assist people. Well, definitely a lot of things will be going out there. A lot of people will be making different comments from different angles. Comments can't be stopped, and you can't stop anybody from expressing their own opinions or views about things. Friends, from the look of things, what do you all think about this? With what Prophet Giwa has just laid out open today, and then regarding the fact that all the general overseers never attended, do you think that is a problem? And do you think there was a reason why they didn't attend? Because it seemed like all of them did not attend, and it kind of looked like, was it an agreement between them? Friends, if you have anything to say regarding this, you could please put that down at the comment section. Why they didn't attend, I think that's best known to them. The truth is, we can't draw conclusions about people's decisions or whatever must have led to them not attending, except they will come out in the open to say these are their reasons before we can draw conclusions. But pending until then, that is, if they decide to come out to say this is the reason why they didn't attend, before we can know why they did not. In other case, would say you can never know the heart of a man, except someone will open his her mouth to say something before you would understand and know why they took the actions that they actually took, which a lot of Nigerians, a lot of people are not in support. But like I said, we can't draw conclusions until we hear from them. Friends, thank you for coming up today. Please don't forget to hit on the like button. Also subscribe and hit the notification bell so you get notified each time we upload a new video. Thank you. God bless you all.